This is the video tutorial for section 1.7 homework. On this we're working with absolute value functions. Since it is an absolute value, I know that if I get a positive 7 inside the absolute value, it will give me 7. Or if I have a negative 7 inside the absolute value, it will also give me 7. So because of that, I'm going to set this equal to 5 minus q equals 7. And 5 minus q equals negative 7. So now I have two equations. Either one of them should give me this right answer. So now all I'll do is I'll work each of these. So I'm going to start with this one, get rid of my addition and subtraction first. So that's a plus 5, so I'm going to go minus 5 from this side, minus 5 from this side. The 5's cancel, leaves me with a negative q equals 7 minus 5 is 2. Now it still has a negative. I don't want that negative, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to change the signs. I can change this negative to a positive as long as I change the sign on the other side. Make that a negative. So now that changes us to a positive q, and over here makes that a negative 2 because I did the same to both sides. I changed this sign on the left. You can do that as long as I change the sign on the right. That gives us q equals negative 2. Now go ahead and move the work on to the second part here. Same exact process. That's a positive 5, so I'm going to go minus 5 and minus 5. The 5 and negative 5 cancel. That leaves us with negative q equals negative 7 and negative 5 is a negative 12. Same as before, since I have a negative, I want to make that a positive. I can do that as long as I change the sign on the other side. Make that a positive. So that leaves us with a positive q equals a positive 12. And that's my second answer. So now I want to check both those, make sure they're okay. So I'll go 5 minus a negative. When I go minus a negative, that becomes a positive. So 5 minus a negative becomes 5 plus 2, which gives me 7. Absolute value of 7 is 7. So that one works. 5 minus 12 gives me negative 7. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7. So both those answers are good. So my answers are q equals a negative 2 and q equals 12. That's your answer for number 19. Now we'll move on to the next section. On this section I'm going to do number 31. Same process as before. I've got the absolute value of 1/2 y plus 4 equals 6. Since I know that inside the absolute value, if I get a 6 or a negative 6, it will give me the correct answer. So I'm going to set what's inside my absolute value, the 1/2 y plus 4. I'm going to set that equal to a positive 6, and I'm also going to set it equal to a negative 6. So now that I have it set up, I can work both of these solve both of these for y. I'm going to start with the one on the left here. Order of operations, I work the reverse order of operations, so that's a positive. Do the opposite, which is a minus 4 and a minus 4. The 4's cancel, and that leaves us with 1/2 y equals, and then 6 minus 4 is 2. Now I have to get rid of this fraction, that's 1 over 2, so I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1. Cancels, since I multiply by 2 over 1 on that side, I also have to multiply by 2 over 1 on this other side. So that leaves us with y equals 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 over 1 is 4. So my answer on this side is just y equals 4. Now I'm going to move to the next side, do the exact same process. So we've got a plus 4, so I'm going to go minus 4 and minus 4. 4's cancel. That leaves us with 1/2 y equals negative 6 and negative 4 is a negative 10. Have to get rid of that 1/2, so I'll multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. So those cancel. Multiply by 2 over 1 here. So that leaves us with y equals, and then with that I have a negative 10 times 2 is negative 20, and then 1 times 1 will be 1, so negative 20 over 1 is a negative 20. And that is my answer for the second part of this problem. Check them real quick. 1/2 of 4 is 2, 2 plus 4 is 6. Absolute value of 6 is 6. Substitute in the negative 20. 1/2 negative 20 is negative 10. Negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. Half the value of negative 6 is also 6. So both of those work out. So either y equals 4 or y equals negative 20 is my answer. So both of those are good solutions. Next problem we will do is number 37. On this one we're working through and we have variables on both sides. So 37 is absolute value of 4x plus 5 equals 2x plus 4. I'm going to do the same process as we did before. I'm going to set the whatever's inside the absolute, which in this case is 4x plus 5. Set that equal to the 2x plus 4. And then on the other side, I'm going to set the 4x plus 5 equal to the negative. And when I set it equal to the negative, we'll do it like this, negative 2x plus 4. So that negative will end up going to both. I'm going to work the one on the left side first. I've got x's on both sides, so I need to go minus 2x to get my variables together. The 2x and the negative 2x cancel, and then 4x minus 2x is 2x. Then I have a plus 5 equals 4. Now I'm going to solve for the x. So I get rid of my plus 5. I go minus 5 and minus 5. The 5's cancel. Leaves us with 2x equals negative 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my final step on this side, which is divide by the 2. That's 2 times x. So divide by 2, and that gives us x equals negative 1/2. And that is your answer for the second one. On the other side, we have this negative that we need to distribute to both. That negative goes to both of those. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4x plus 5 equals negative 2x and negative 4. Make sure you get that negative distributed, because otherwise you'll end up with the wrong signs and it'll put an error in your answer. Now I want to get my x's together just like we did previously, so I go plus 2x and plus 2x. The negative 2x and the positive 2x cancel. 4x plus 2x is 6x plus 5 equals negative 4. Now solve for x. I'm going to go minus 5 from both sides. The 5 and negative 5 cancel. That leaves us with 6x equals, and that's a negative 9. Now I divide by 6. Divide by 6. The 6 cancel, leaves us with x equals, now negative 9 divided by 6, they both reduce by 3, so negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that gives us x equals negative 3 over 2. That is our answer. So we've got the x equals negative 1/2 and the x equals negative 3/2. So now I need to check both answers to see if they are any extraneous solutions, since we had the x on the other side. So I substitute in the negative 1/2. So 4 times negative 1/2 gives us a negative 2. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. So this one gives us 3 on the left. And then negative 1/2 times 2 is a negative 1. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3 as well. So that one works out. Now I'll try the same thing on the other side. Negative 3/2, so I'll plug that in for the x. Negative 3/2 times 4 gives us negative 12 over 2, which is a negative 6. Negative 6 plus 5 is a negative 1, and then the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So that gives us 1 on the left side. Now I'll go negative 3/2 times 2 gives us a negative 6 over 2, which gives us a negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is also 1. So that one also works. So both those solutions are good solutions. Make sure anytime you have that x, anytime you have this x on the other side, that you check for extraneous solutions. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, but you always need to check to make sure. And that is your solution, your solutions for number 37.